Aftercare After Dark is intended for mature audiences. If you're under the age of 18, we would ask you to leave this broadcast immediately and patiently await your formal invite to the grown folks table. We sometimes discuss topics that can be triggering for some. Please refer to the show's notes for episode-specific trigger warnings and resources. Thank you for listening.
Today's episode is about red flags on dating profiles.
We are winding down. We have erased, deleted, gone like limited contact with so many of these apps. I'm down to one. It's just Field now. I deleted Hinge. I deleted OkCupid. I am not doing Tinder because I've always been afraid of Tinder. And that's it. That's it. So we've just got Field left for me. What are you doing, Miss G?
I think I did Tinder for like a week and then just immediately uninstalled it after that. Sorry. This is sometimes memories get repressed, right? So I did do Facebook dating for about a month and then uninstalled and deleted that too. And now we're still down to Field. So I probably uninstall Field once or twice a month, and then like re-download the app towards the end of the month when I'm ready to like recruit people for the month.
Listen, self-serving, that's what we're doing now. And I didn't realize this. We talked about this earlier, I think in episode 1, about the burning the haystack method. And I don't follow any of those ladies because, it's a little bright in there. Let's put it that way. There are just too many of one type of woman in there. And I don't think the method really would work that well for women of color, to be perfectly honest. Like, we already have a shallow dating pool. Narrowing that even further and further and further gets us to like nothing. We'll never leave the house. I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. I realize I'm a particular taste. I have particular needs. I am not flexible about them anymore. I'm not. And they're very simple. Like, so it's not a list of 100 things that I need, like that TikTok going around, 6'5", finance, blue. Like, I'm not that person. I'm not that person. There is a way that I want to be treated. There is a way that I would like to communicate. There is a way that, once we get intimate, that I want to do that. And so going on the basis and making things as simple, because a lot of people, like, they want you to, I find this with men, just give all the information. I do not write paragraphs. I keep it simple. If I can get something that's very, very complicated, and one of my, we didn't make it out of chats, actually stated this, your ask is at the same time simple and complex. And it's because of my communication style. It's very direct, right? I'm trying to use the few amount of words to explain myself rather than going ad infinitum about things where things can be left up for interpretation. We're not doing that anymore. So, red flags. Let's talk about those red flags.
All right, immediately casual. Anything casual gets a swipe left for me. Why? We kind of talked about this in our defining terms episode. Why is casual a red flag?
For me, casual, I don't do casual. Does anything about this? Is this casual? No. And I do this all the time. Like, I am your slightly overdressed friend. I barely dress casual. I don't leave my house unless I am prepared for whatever activity. So if Sporty Spice Yolanda is going out, she's still color coordinated. She still looks cute. If I'm out on girl date, I get cute and gussied up for that. If we're out on regular date, cute and gussy out for that. If I'm taking myself out, cute and gussied up for that. So like, no, I don't do casual. Again, intent, right? And for you?
And then casual is surface level. Casual is no emotional investment. That's what casual means to me. So casual is an automatic swipe left for me. I did change that recently, as in 2 days, open to casual and consistent SW. And then at the very bottom, I was like, all local kinksters and casual connections, come meet me at the munch. So like, what's casual? Casual is I see you when I see you. Casual is if I'm out at this location and I see you there, hi, you're a familiar face. I've seen you once or twice. We say hi, smooch, smooch, move on. Casual is not I set time intentionally aside to get to know you. And I just got done blocking somebody via text for this. This person, like, we had seen each other off and on for 2 years at this location, at this bar location that I go to and sing at, and just recently stumbled across him on Facebook dating. And I adore this person. Every time I see him, he's like dressed very wonderfully. He's super kind. I've always enjoyed him. And so like we exchanged numbers and he started doing the whole like trying to have entire conversations via text. and texting me good morning, right? And so one of my things was, if you would like to get to know me, let's set a date. Let's set a date and we can go out and have a conversation. Immediately replies with a, I'm not that fancy.
I'm fancy. I'm a fancy lady.
I'm
I'm
not,
a fancy
I'm not,
lady.
I'm not that fancy. Because I said, like, I prefer my men to act like gentlemen and ask a lady out on a date. Oh, I'm not that fancy. I guess gentleman is subjective. I was like, immediately, boom, 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 da 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 da. Yes, like we can just be casual friends. Guess what? I'll see you when I run into you. We can say hi to each other and move on.
And
And
that's the
so
thing.
this,
I'm not even casual with my friends. We make plans. Like we make plans to see each other. We're adults. That's what we have to do.
I
So
don't
if you have
have casual friends. I have casual acquaintances. I
so I
have
happen
casual,
to run into you, right? Like
yeah.
like we're in the supermarket or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I know that person. Yeah, that's casual to me. If we've engaged a number of times and we enjoy each other's company, you are not disposable to me. My
Hmm.
friends aren't
And
disposable to me.
my casual acquaintances don't try to text me good morning every morning. That's a common theme. Every time somebody tries to do this to me, establish my boundary, I was like, I don't enjoy good morning texts. It's not something I appreciate from anyone unless they're romantic partners. They don't like it. Oh, they don't like it. So casual, automatic swipe left. What's next? What's another one?
I know I'm going to set you off right now. Open-minded. I was like, I'm gonna get G. I'm gonna get G good.
Open-minded. I see this a lot from the men's. I don't see this very often from the women. So if it exists, I don't see it again because it's not my lived experience. I'm finding out that with these men, their open mindedness is sort of like a one-way street. They want me or their potential partner, they want the opposite person to be open minded to their needs, fantasies, kinks, quirks, shit, XYZ. But when it comes to my open mindedness, me and my kinks and my things and my quirks and shit like that, oh my God, the defensive responses to toxic masculinity. I had a gentleman ask me once, like, are you some sort of dominatrix? I was like, I moonlight on occasion as a dom, sure. And he just immediately came back with a, I'm not a submissive man. I'm not some. I was like, I never asked you if you were. I've nowhere in my any of our exchanges or in my private anywhere have I ever said that I desire and am attracted to submissive men. I never said any of that. Obviously, I didn't say this out loud. He couldn't move past that. And this person had looking for an open minded female or open minded lady in his profile. And it's just like, and I've seen this pattern more than once. They want you to be open minded when it comes to their shit, whatever it is. But when it comes to your stuff, there's no curiosity to learn. It's always like, how does it fit into my things? How does your quirks, your kinks, your shit fit into my world? And I was like, I don't know you. I don't know you. My things, my desires, my wants are mine. I don't put that on anyone. What I want from you depends on what we have in on the table together, what we're both willing to have in exchange. But yeah, no.
It's always been on my list. I've always put it past to it. I don't know what open-minded is. So as a Black woman, is that like a tolerance thing? Like I've actually asked the person, what do you mean by open-minded? Oh, I take any race, any color, any age, any body type, right? Open-minded means that I'll all takers, right? So there's that part of it. There's a part of it that you said. What I really mean is that I require my partner to be open-minded about my needs. And then also the catch-all thing, right? I thought you were open. I've had a couple of dates. I thought you were open-minded about like things that are hard nose for me. Absolutely not. No, I'm not open-minded about hard nose. When we're in the negotiation phase, and honestly, I feel like almost all dates are a negotiation, whether or not you say they are or not. You're talking about the things that you like, the things that you don't like. At least I hope you are. I hope people are vetting while they're on these dates. It starts with the profile, but like if you make it to chat and you make it out of chat and you are actually out in the wild with this person, you do need to read them, right? And so I've had people say like the weirdest things, and I was like, we were in chat, and I've got the receipts. I've always got the receipts. I told you this was a no for me. Like I already explained that. Well, you're not open minded. I was like, I never said I was. You said you were open minded. You said you were open minded. I never said I was. The clearer I get about what I want and not lowering the bar and not lowering the standard and not compromising on a certain standard. No way. So, and that rolls back into the casual thing, right? Like there's no universe in which we don't do the courtship thing. And I think leaving open-minded, good vibes, chill. I'm
Okay,
gonna
just
hit you
adding on
again.
more red flags.
I
Good
know.
vibe, chill.
I'm gonna get you again. I'm gonna get you again with one of your favorites. Goes with the flow.
Ah. Okay, goes with the flow, see where things go. I have it on my profile, a myriad of different connections. I am open to navigating how dynamics unfold organically, right? So that would kind of fall into go with the flow and see where things go. But usually when the gents use these terms, it really like puts the mental labor onto the lady to plan things. There's no real intent to invest a whole lot of anything in the whole thing because they're when people say go with the flow, see where things go, they really want FWBs. They really want sex.
Mhm.
Almost every single time. I don't do sex with friends with benefits. I do PIV sex with friends. I'll still get you off and do XYZ, but I'm not going to tell you that. I don't lead with that. There's still a way for everybody to get their O's, to get their satisfaction without doing PIV, but I'm not going to tell you that, right? Everybody who is in the experience, who's experiencing kink and dabbles in the world, knows exactly what no PIV is. And so if you're coming from the swingers clubs, the swingers and the NSAs and the NSA world and the one night stand world and the fuck buddy world, you don't know what no PIV is. So when I say I don't do PIV with friends, they automatically just want nothing to do with me. So you're not really going with the flow. You're not truly like wanting to see where things go. Because I just told you that we're not going here. And they're just like, oh, I don't want to get to know you anymore. This gets me because it's this dissonance between words and action. You're not saying what you mean and you don't mean what you say. So if you're establishing a pattern already, like what makes you think I'm going to take anything you say seriously? You know, that's just my take on it.
Aesthetics. We're sitting in a car selfie, the gym mirror selfie, and then it's like all the same day, right? You've taken 3 pictures in the same day and maybe like a driver's license photo from like 15 years ago. No intention about what you are presenting there. Like you just see one attitude, one face. I need to see if you have friends. I need to see where you hang out. But like I'm out and about. I'm with people. I have portrait things. Another person has taken a picture of me. And we've been saying this for like a decade now, like about what you put up there. And these dudes are still in a t-shirt and, just, and that's it. I'm like, no.
You put me on the selfie thing. It was never really a thing that was on my radar until you brought it to my attention. And once you did, it's like I see it everywhere. Another adding on to the aesthetic is the dudes who take pictures of themselves like there's just a look. I don't know how to put it.
I know what you're talking about. Like, oh, there's 2 looks. There's the like men do that. Like, and I'm like, what do you
where they're like when they're like puckering and like setting their jaw tense, they're like trying to look tough in their pictures and shit like that. I was like, I can't exactly put my finger on why that's a turn off to me. But like I'll take a smile, right? If you're out and about in nature and you're just resting bitch face or retching guy face, whatever it is, cool. But it's the flex, it's the little flex. It's a little arm flex.
Like,
and the set jaw and the hard
I know what you're talking about. And I like no.
And this goes into another conversation about, pictures, but like, how do y'all take a picture of this, look at it, and think that it looks great enough for you to put publicly? And
do you know how many snaps I take before I'm like, that one represents me? And then like, and then I have to look at the gallery. Is it telling a story? I'm thinking about these. And when I see women's profiles, I see the same thing, especially on Field. Like some of them are fantastic. I might need to update mine, but like the fashion plates or if you're not a fashion girl, you're a nature girl, but you're like, I don't know, you have a pretty face. And I like looking at you and I like imagining whatever it is that's going on. And they're not basic. They're not based, especially on Field. Field is like for the women. Women put effort into their profiles. Oh, another one. Everything's an emoji. You got a dancing
Oh,
girl, and you got a whirlwind,
oh,
and you got
like no
your
words, no words, just straight
yeah,
emojis.
like
I was gonna say, I have one. I have them. I love
no,
emojis.
no,
But yeah,
no.
no,
I mean
I've
the
seen it.
like the complete thing. I mean, there might be 3 or 4 words in there, but it's like your sun, your moon, and your rising. You've got your anagram. You have your MBTI in there. You have the dancing twirly girls. You got keep it 100 on there. Like I'm like, we're grown. If you're showing up in my feed, you're 35 plus.
The emoji sentences the emoji profiles get an empty profiles, empty words, no nothing, automatic swipe left automatically.
And I think this is a thing where like some article will come out and say, no one's reading profiles written by a man who talks to other men because men don't read profiles. Women read profiles. We get catfished a lot. So we are trying to match what we see and what we read and who we're chatting to. You don't make it to chat if there's nothing in there. Field has a category. You can even write in your own interest if you want to for everything. You have 10 desires and 10 interests that you can put in there. So that's 20 things, like you can say you're dominant, submissive, looking for BDSM, or just kink, or 3 ways. You can do all of the configurations there. And I see that, but there are no words. It's just those 3 selfies and what you want. I put effort into what I do. I'm putting effort into dating. I need to see that effort mirrored back at me. And like I think I wrote that in my profile. Like my
Yes.
profile
I just
is
looked at it earlier this morning.
I
It's
put it
in
in my
there. My
profile.
profile is complete and I require the same from yours.
Yes. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. If I get a lot of likes. I get likes from dudes who have not read the profile. Who have not read the profile because I changed it. It used to be all sunshine and like no.
Listen, you try to tell me to edit my profile, to edit my bio and make it softer. And I'm like, nope, bitch, it's off-putting for me. It's okay. I've edited it since. Okay. Listen, I hear you. I get it. But now you're understanding me.
I get it. Because I'm there. I'm kind of like fed up. There's only so many ways you can ask. So many ways you can flag out there that you are looking for something in particular. For me,
this put no dom men 4 times on her profile. No dom men, paragraph. No dom men, paragraph. No dom men, paragraph.
Okay, wait, but I did get cute with it, right? Like I got cute with it. So like it's not. So I think the first one is like no to dominant men. I'm a city girl who never got over her horse phase.
I don't understand that. Am I showing my age? I don't
Oh, you don't understand the horsey phase? You never went through a horsey phase as a girl?
I'm a city girl who never got over her horse phase. What does that mean?
Okay, so like there are horse girls, right? Like we read Black Beauty, we watched My Little Pony was a thing. Like it was a big thing. Women.
Oh, I know. My Little Pony is a cult. I get it.
Yes, My Little Pony. We draw horses. We dream about horses. We read the horse fan fiction. We read horses. And so like every girl goes through a horse phase. Well, not every girl, but like a lot of us do. Right. And so it is a thing between the ages of like, it's your tween years when you get into the horses. Like you have all of these, like you want to go riding and you watch all of the historical Bridgerton. Everybody's on horseback. So like you become obsessed with horses. That was me, but I never quite got over it. Hint, hint. What are my accessories? Okay, I have the horse whip, and I have several like. I'm a city girl who never. Yes, I'm
light bulb moment. I get it. I get it now.
Profile red flag. Your profile is empty. You've seen mine, but you haven't read it. So that's another thing. Matching up with me, knowing full well you didn't read the 4 or 5 times I said no to dom men and was very specific about it. Like,
and I think that kind of like just automatically ties into like a lack of attention to detail. That's an automatic swipe left. If you haven't read my profile and you ask me a question that I've already explicitly said in my profile, I'm like, you're on automatic swipe left. So I had somebody ask me about where I live. Where you live. It's right there. It's quite literally the first thing in my profile. my city and location. And so if you ask me that question, I was like automatically left. Because you know why? Because if I have a question like that, I go back to your profile, I read it to make sure that it's not already covered. So that's just me. Maybe I'm being a little too anal, but hey, guess what? Attention to detail matters to me. And if I have to repeat myself 2, 3, 4 times, I better get paid for it. What else? Swingers.
No swingers. That was me from day none, though. And there are people who think they're slick, talking about like, oh, we want friendship and we want this and we want that. They want play parties. They want one-offs. They want to use you like Kleenex. That's what they want to do. I'm very wary of couples. I have a couple now, but like I'm wary of them when I see their profiles, especially when it's like most everybody has caught on to do not use the phrase unicorn hunters, right? So
Looking
they've
for a
just
third.
yeah, so like now they've just gotten bold and said looking for a female for, you know, a good time, whatever. That's what sex workers are for. That's not what dating is for.
It's not necessarily a red flag, it's more of an orange flag. So it's the ones who like looking for a casual play partner, but open to a more deeper, intimate dynamic kind of thing. A lot of, and again, this is field, these are dating apps. A lot of people coming into this space, they're not looking for play partners. They're looking for somebody to have sex with. Because when I ask like, what kind of play, they don't know. They just want sex. That's all they keep going to. And then like open to like something more and deeper. I was like, listen, if I have to try out an audition to be your girlfriend, I don't want it. You're either
Well, like, okay, I'm gonna push on that because everything's a short-term relationship until it turns long, right? Not auditioning as in like if somebody comes in and they're like, all I want is one night stands, right? All I want
right.
is casual. They've signaled their intention. What a person says about casual and open to more, again, confusion, right? I'm looking for a relationship. That's what my profile says.
Mhm.
That's what my profile, I'm very explicit about that. I want to date. I want to see you. So like, does it mean long term? Not necessarily, because you don't know if you're going to get along with someone. Things can be short term as like 48 hours in the chat. You haven't asked me out. We're done. So like looking for long term to me is kind of I would love something consistent. I would love something that lasts. I would love something that's sustainable. But I'm finding that's very, very difficult when you're not meeting at the same place. So like I am very demisexual. I need to have relationship basis, like in order to even want to have sex with you. Like I have to have a connection. That connection is formed over time through repetition. If you are looking for casual one-offs, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. It's not going to happen. So saying you're looking for STR, short-term relationship to long-term relationship, and you're open for that, doesn't actually make any sense to me because like you don't know what you like and what you're going to keep ever until you do the courtship thing, right? So that's where if I see casual, if I see NSA, if I see one night stands, let's see what happens.
Go with the flow.
Yes. Let's see what happens is a good way of saying like, you know, like you're a disposable person. I just want to have sex with you.
So the whole like casual but open to more kind of for me falls under the let's see what happens. Because what a lot of people don't realize that they're saying when they're saying that is because I want sex first and then I'll be open to more. I was like, nope, you're either ready for it or you're not. Period. That's just how that goes. Like I said, should go back and read my profile. I've edited it. As I said, love and emotional security is my gateway to sex. So if you're not there, move on. And again, like love has many forms. It could be platonic. It could be, you know, like partnership kind of love. It could be, there's all sorts of different ones, but like I need to be loved. I need to feel loved. I need to feel taken care of. I need to feel like I matter to you, so on and so forth. And I had the one who ghosted me, the one that I've been dating for 3 months who just like disappeared and shit like that. He kept telling me that I really like you. I really like you. Cool. I really like you too. I adore you too. But that's not going to make me want to have sex with you.
How
That's
many
just
times
how
did
that
you
is.
go out though? Like that's the thing. Like
Like
I need
five,
oh, you
four,
did
four,
go. Also, you
five.
did. So
It
you
was
were dating.
significant. It
Yeah.
was
Okay.
significant. I enjoyed that. So I'm like kind of sad that he just sort of ghosted because if he at least came out with, hey, this isn't progressing where I would like to go, I don't think it'd be a good match. Like, anyways, we're sidetracked again. But I'm a little sad because that would have been a great friendship if he was just willing to have a hard conversation. But I think it got to the point where he realized that he was putting in time and energy and it wasn't going to where he wanted to go. Because I was explicit. I got to a point where, hey, let's, I'm interested in being a play partner. That was at one of the parties that we went to. And then not too long after that, I was like, I would enjoy, doing sexual activities with you. Like I was open. I knew,
Mhm.
like I was very direct. There was a thing, but I think it just got weird. I don't know what happened. Like I said, like what happened with you and the other person. They just fell off and now we don't know, like now we don't know. There was an opportunity to be really great friends if we had just been willing to have an honest conversation, but now we'll never
Can you be
know.
friends though? And I'm now wondering, like, can you be friends after you've had sexual activity?
We've never
I
had sexual activity.
You went to the party though, right?
Yes, we went to a party and he held a wand up there. Well, I guess that counts as sexual activity, but
Oh,
still.
honestly. Okay. I get
Wait.
excuses, okay? If I am without clothes and something and or someone is touching me in the erogenous zones, I consider that sexual activity. It may not be sex,
Um,
but that's sexual activity.
yes. So yeah, I wonder, like I said, we'll never know. We'll never know. And that's
I
what
mean,
I'm
are they
looking
just
for.
gone?
They ghosted me. They never responded to any of my texts.
See, I've just been told like the heartbreak. We had a conversation. One of the Johns, and there have been so many of them. One of the Johns hung up the phone on me, got big mad. But like, I knew temperamentally, I knew he was 5 seconds away from me telling him off. So that was cool. I was like, okay, cool.
This one, I sent a text. He said he was going to get back to me. He never got back to me. And then I checked in with them because I went to his munch. We had another munch, and they were usually there for the munch. And so when I didn't see them there, I texted them and just checked in. Hey, missed you. How are you? Are you okay? Is everything okay? And just like nothing. So, it's like, you know what? Cool. I've been direct. I've been clear. I have been honest. I've been myself. I've been authentic. So it's not on me. Like this isn't on me. And I feel good about that. Oh, I wasn't heartbroken because we weren't attached like that. But this was also like the accountability part was I think I started off with too much no's. And
Yeah.
we've already talked about this. I started off with too much, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. As we went through the things, I started opening up a little bit more time and said, hey, I would like a little bit more communication from you. I shouldn't be going 5, 6, 7 days without hearing anything from you, So just like check in with me, even if it's just like a phone call and seeing how each other's doing. But anyways, sidetrack again.
Well, it all kind of fits in because like we see these things like in the beginning, I would see something that I would say caution flag, right? There are no caution flags like at this point. Everything's red. Now it's just like different kinds of red. Like it's scarlet, or it's oxblood, or it's magenta. Okay, we have magenta red. Like there are different colors of red, but like things that I know if I see, it's just not going to work out. Oh, so I have a prompt, or I used to. I used to have a prompt on Hinge, and it was my most accurate way of saying, don't even start. Okay. If somebody responded to this query and it was, if you happen to be a Star Wars geek, list the episode numbers. There are 9 episodes in the movies, right? For canon, list those in order from best to worst. And there are a lot of wrong answers. I'm not going to tell you. Okay, you're not studying me here, but there are a lot of wrong answers, and there is a particular wrong order that I'm like, nope, not not for me, not doing it. So I had that, but then I just deleted my profile on Hinge. So there's that. There's no more Hinge. Hinge was driving me insane because it seems like you're getting to know someone, but you're really not. There's nothing concrete there. So you know how tall someone is, maybe you know what their job is, you know where they're from, and you know where they live. And then you have a bunch of prompts and quizzes and voice notes. One of my favorite things on TikTok is like, weird, like weird people, like leaving the weirdest voice prompts ever. And you're just like, why would you even say that? But yeah, so like just a pool of weirdness on Hinge.
Which is funny because we're weird.
No, I'm talking about weirdness, and you don't need to be dating. Like you do not need. You've got issues. You've got things that you need to resolve. You do not need to be out in the streets. Also, okay, Cupid, married, right? We're just cheating. All of those dudes on there were married. All of them, with the exception of two, were married. It's not E&M. It's just non-monogamous. You are just cheating on your spouse.
I feel like OkCupid, Tinder, Grinder are all where the cheaters go. I mean, they're on Field too.
And they're on Field too.
They're on
Oh,
Field.
they're on
They're on
Field
Hinge too. But like Hinge and Field, when I was in Hinge, had a little bit more of the, I would say scholarly. I don't know if that's the right word, but like people who were just like put effort in.
Every time they do a expose on Field, a whole bunch of new people come on there and leave their profiles blank. Some people I've seen before in my likes, I've passed on them. And that's the one thing I don't like about Field. If you pass on someone, they will still show up in your thing. So like I passed on someone, I don't see them ever again. They still see me though. And what I've seen, another red flag, you've changed your profile.
And so is this the ones you swipe left on, or the ones you connect with in chat and then disconnect?
The ones that like me. So I get a little heart notification. I don't swipe anymore. I get a notification, someone like, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done, but I paid for a year of Field. I paid for that subscription. So I'm going to honor it and see it out, but I am not actively swiping. If someone likes me and I like their profile, we will chat. But what I'm finding is I've seen you 6 months ago. And 6 months ago, you were the domiest dom of all doms, dom guy. And now all of a sudden you are a sub, or you've left that out of your profile. And I was like, I've seen you before. You were dom 5 minutes ago. What happened? So you are reconnecting with me after I've already passed. I'm seeing you in my likes again. And I've explicitly said no to dominant men. That is a no. I've had on 3 occasions people read my profile and write their profile based on what I wanted to hear. So I've keyed to that too, where someone was particularly interested. I did a pass. They showed up 2 months later with a profile that is mirroring in reverse though, right? What's in my profile. I'm a really, like I said, I'm looking for smart people because, I'm a smarty girl. So like, I like big brains. So like all of a sudden they have like 7 degrees and they're a sub. No ambiguity. I'm looking for someone of a certain disposition in the male form. Ladies, we've talked about this on Ladies Night. There's this certain type of woman I would say yes, ma'am, to. and I'm looking for her. I'm looking for her. But with the men, and I'm very, very specific about that, you have to have a certain disposition for me. I do not like it, and I'm not open to switches. I'm not open to verses. I'm not open to sense doms. That's another thing. They're like, oh, like I'm a soft touch. I didn't ask if you were a soft touch dom or not. I don't like dominant men. I need to lead. Like that's what I want to do. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I said I was going to do. So this trying to soften your boundaries once you get into chat. And we are not doing the chat. We haven't even gotten to chat red flags. Like good ways for me to say, I don't think we're a match. And I think that's like my default. Like, even if the chat is going around well, if I see something, pattern recognition, if I see something too many times, I have to repeat myself. If I say, oh, this is something that I'm not comfortable with until we meet, and you keep going back to it.
Bulls, I might get some flack for this, but that's a personal preference. Only because I have been the one to put unicorn friendly on my profile a couple of years ago. And so like bulls kind of land on my swipe left list because, it falls under casual sex. And in my experience, when people are advertising themselves as this thing, they're not willing to put in the work to work to earn me, to court me, to do those things.
It doesn't work its way onto my page, or if it does, I'll swipe left. Like again, they'll have something in there indicating that like they are just DTF, right? But what I find is it starts out in the chat, like a story will come out, and I'm like, oh nope, That's that's a scarlet flag. And that's our preference. Some ladies like that. Some ladies are down for casual. Some ladies are for one night stands, getting their freak on. Prerogative, right? Choice. My style of anything requires some intimacy. It requires connection. I don't
It
enjoy myself
requires work.
on both parts. This isn't just like, oh, I'm asking for the world and I haven't put in any effort. I've put in a ton of effort. I have, both online and out in the wild. Like, like I take care of myself, and there's a certain way that I want to look when I'm out in the world. So I take care with that. And we were talking about this when we were doing our get ready, we've been therapied. We work on the other things that go with therapy, mindfulness and intentionality and having goals and being very thoughtful, doing some introversion, well, I'm naturally introverted, but like doing all of that work on the inside and then saying, like, this is how I'm showing up, and these are the things that I would like. So it's not just a list of demands. I think the podcast bros are like, she wants this, she wants that, she wants the next thing. If someone has made it very, very clear in their profile that they require height, they require a certain amount of money, and there are apps for that. Field is not that app. But you could always do contact clues. I do. If I see you on a farm with a rooster under your arm, you're not my guy. I'm a metro girl.
I like that. One of the gentlemen that I had chatted with, it's funny because it was in this most recent episode.
Listen, if you can't keep up with me if you live in a yurt.
I like farm guys. I like guys. One of the sexier pictures that a gentleman has sent me was like a picture of him in his like full hunting getup of ducks.
Okay, see, now okay, I'll do camping, but if you're living outdoors, no, I need a chalet. We talked about this. Like, we need a cabin. We need it to be well adorned. Like it is, yeah, but converted school bus guy, no. We're not doing that. We are not doing converted school bus. Nope.
This is like, we're like different in that way because I fantasize about living on the road for like 2 to 3 years. Converted school bus girl.
Oh, see, that's you. That ain't me. That ain't me. That ain't me. I'm a museum girl, but I am also a hiker. Like I hike all the time, kayaking. But if you're outside and you're like, I'm homesteading. I'm homesteading and living off the land. This is regional to me. The fire pit hangout. It's worse than Netflix and chill. At least you're paying for a subscription.
That's a low maintenance, low requirement. I can do that, but I'm not going to be like that straight out the bat. Like I can get like that. I want a homestead. Ideally, I want a farm. I want chickens. I want goats and shit like that. Like that's what I want. I would live on the road for 2 years, but you're not going to get that out of me during the courting phase. You're
never going to get that out of me. Period.
That's wife. That's wife shit.
Yeah.
That's some wife shit.
Like we learned something new. I did not know that was on your desires list. Now I know. Maybe I can send a couple of people your way.
Wife shit. You make me your wife. Make me your wife, and I'll do all that. I want to be a homesteader. I want to make everything from scratch. I want to grow everything. That's what I want. But bitch is bougie too.
And I'm just kind of bougie. I'm
bitch is bougie too. I can get it. I can sling mud. I can shovel poop. I could do all that shit. But on the flip side, we're gonna, if that's the life that I want, then I better be your wife. But otherwise,
listen, I want to do eco tours in New Zealand and Vietnam. Like I want to do outdoorsy things, and we can even do outdoorsy things while we are dating. But I'm not living outside. I'm not sleeping outside. As in, we are in a relationship.
I'm not having sex with you, and you're a little camper. I'm not doing it.
No, that's not. Yeah, like I'm not doing that. I'm like,
we're gonna get a hotel because you're not coming over to my house either.
Yeah, like no. I'm a house creature now.
FWBs is an automatic swipe as well for me too. But what I have started seeing, and I don't see it all the time, but every once in a while, I'll have somebody pop up with a friends FWBs with an emphasis on friends. That's a soft. Depending on the rest of the article and the rest of the bio, I may or may not swipe right on that one.
Just 2 lines. If you're not real, don't bother messaging me. A lot of fakes on here. You're not telling me anything about yourself. Oh, that's the thing. Red flags. I want this, I want that. I need kindness. I need this, I need that.
Looking for a nice lady, a chill girl. Nice. Nice is
Nice
the automatic swipe left.
nice, kind is the gate. Like they learned that like don't say nice anymore, so now they say we're looking for kindness.
I feel like context, because I will swipe right on people who say like seeking authentic friendships based on, like with
That's
people who practice.
authenticity, right?
Yep, yes,
Like
yes. No drama is another swipe left.
because you are the drama and you like the drama. That is 100% true.
But no drama means to me, no drama means as soon as there's conflict, you're out. And that's just not how relationships work. Relationships are going to have conflicts. You're going to have misunderstandings. You're going to have assumptions. You're going to get triggered.
Female. You know who uses female doctors and scientists? It's a gender thing, right? I say men. I talk about women. Looking for a female anything in the lexicon, you're wrong. So like I see this again, looking
Why?
For because
Why?
it's a vocabulary thing. I'm a geek, okay? The only people that should be using female versus male are doctors and scientists.
It's a swipe left for me as well, too, because it's a very subtle way of objectification and dehumanization. It emphasizes that their only value in you is what you have in between your legs. That's it.
That was one. One is it's just wrong to use, and it's become so popular that like people think it's correct to use. So that's one. The second thing is it's a lack of respect, and this goes all the way back to I would say like college for me. College.
Our military days. They were really bad with that.
Like female this, female that. It was disrespectful. It
female
was a way
Marines.
Of looking
female Marines.
Right. Yeah. So like it's a trigger for me. It's always a swipe left. If you constantly use, and of course, Instagram, these females out here, these females be doing this. Like, okay, there's, adult women. We are women. We're not females. Okay. Again, it's a biological distinction. It is not what we're doing, and it's just disrespectful to me. It's really disrespectful to me.
And anybody who tries to argue against that and tries to justify that, and anybody who tries to rationalize it in any way is an automatic run. Anybody who runs because they don't understand, those are the same people who will attack women for saying all men. And if you don't understand the similarities of those things, like that's the reason why swipe run. Because like we don't go around saying all men, but it's already implied. We don't need to say it out loud. So if you're coming at me with these females, you're already guarded, you're already doing all that. And like we've already talked about this. Nobody gives us credit for going through all these things and still continuing to show up authentically.
My group chat's on me. They're like, you're just doing this to entertain us at this point, right? I'm like, no, I'm still trying. I'm like literally still trying. They're like, we would have given up months ago. And that's why people are jumping ship on these apps left and right. We're done. I've never not finished a race. I've run marathons. I've never not finished a race, and I feel like
listen, I'm here. I'm hanging on by a thread. Okay, I'm uninstalling and reinstalling once a month. Like this is and like nobody wants to talk about this. You know why I'm reinstalling? Because that's ovulation.
And that's like, the funny thing is that like I used to be very passive. I used to be permissive. I used to try to meet people where they are, give them benefit of the doubt, like all of these things. And then I realized that I want my match. And if I want my match, then I need to see that, especially at my big age, I need to see that in your profile. I need to see that you've thought about this and this is what you want, rather than reading my profile or not reading my profile, like linking up with me. And I used to be curious. I used to be like, you know what, why does this person like me? And then realizing, oh no, I just wasted my own time by engaging. I should have just swiped left automatically. And now they are automatic swipe left because I want to meet my match.
Exploring is another. New to this, looking to explore is an automatic swipe left to me.
It's not for me because I'm new to this and I'm exploring. So like it's not an automatic swipe left to me because I've never done this. You've been at this for 4 years.
Yeah. I swipe left on that. So like And that's my red flag, just because when somebody's coming into the kink space from the vanilla space, is a little bit of deprogramming that they have to go to. There's just a little bit of like re-socialization. There's a little bit of re-socialization they have to go to, and that's mental labor and that's emotional labor. I don't want to teach you why you're problematic. I don't want to teach, like, because they don't know themselves, and that's again all for it. Like, they don't know themselves, they don't know their limits, they don't know XYZ, and so that puts the mental emotional labor on me because we're gonna get triggered. Yeah, and that's all. And this again, we've already talked about this a little bit, but like, there's just a difference between the ladies coming into this kink space wanting to explore, and then like the men's coming into a kink space wanting to explore. So with my experience, I fully understand that this isn't everybody's experience, but like with my experience with the ladies coming in exploring them, they want to explore certain types of play that doesn't necessarily involve sex because they want to feel safe. And sex doesn't necessarily make women feel safe. And so the vast majority of my experiences with women are they want to do impact play, they want to do this, they want to do rope, they want to do this, but like PIV is often like not a primary focus, versus the boys and the men coming into the kink space, there's almost always ejaculation, touching their and sexual penetration involved in their fantasies, and I just don't. That's labor. If I'm taking the time to educate you, I would like to get paid for that.
Fair enough. I know that in my profile, I say that I'm exploring because I am. That's not a past for me. And I don't think I've run into too many of those types anyway, because when I go down to your desires list and I see dominant, what do? I swipe left. I swipe left. I see it. I'm like, oh my God, cute. And then I see it. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Left. Now you look down my thing, you see being dominant there, right? You would think, oh, wait, I should swipe left on this because she's made it clear that that's what she wants to do. No, I get matched.
I get a lot of men who are like experience with topping, experience with being a dom, but would like to explore my submissive side. Being a dom is not an automatic swipe left for me, but I have yet to meet anyone who inspires any sort of desire for me to bottom and or submit to them. Why? Because you can't plan a simple date.
That's red flag. And in your pictures, I don't see anything dominant about you. Okay, you've got no effort. There's no presence. If I was entertaining that disposition, I need to see that I would follow you. No, I wouldn't follow you. No, I would not follow you. In fact, I'd probably cross the street. You look scary to me, and not good, scary kind of way, right? I'm talking about you look unkempt.
You look like you just rolled up out of bed and took a selfie.
Like,
I'm shaved.
Rolled up out of your air mattress, which I can see in the background. There's nothing to me that reads, I like
Pictures
rough
blurry.
sex. Yes, I like rough sex that has nothing to do with being a dominant. That's what that looks like to me. I've seen a couple of zaddy types that have it together. It's still a pass for me. I'm for a different type. Smell like good credit score. Like, I've seen that. I've seen that I have control over, my appearance. I've put effort into my profile. I've seen that type of dom. I'm still not interested, but kudos to you. If you have, and I have in the beginning of this, entertain the, okay, let's see what he has to say. Can't plan, can't communicate.
Cannot stimulate me mentally in chat.
Undecisive. I engage you, like, and I've had a couple. I'm getting close. We were talking about this offline, but we are getting closer to the things that we want by being this discerning, right? I've gone weeks now without, well, I went on a date last week, but before that, it had been a month before I had even gotten out of chat with anybody to make a date. So I went 4 weeks, nothing. I was chatting. I was like, no, this isn't going to work out. Or doing the Zoom thing. If I'm traveling for more than half an hour, we're going to have a Zoom date before I get in my car, before I make that effort. And that's just personal choice for me. So it had been a while. I went out on this date and that exploded. The date was lovely, but the 7 days afterwards, not so much. But it was very much paying attention to, can this person hold it together to lead me anywhere? And absolutely not. Every decision is mine to make. We can't get to know each other unless I'm asking all the questions. Then I'm supposed to
Reciprocity.
Right. And then I'm supposed to get naked and be very vulnerable with you and let you manhandle me. I think it's not, sir. I think it's not.
That's how I feel with casual sex. I'm like, if you're gonna treat my nakedness as something that's casual, if you're gonna treat the insides of me as something as casual, if you're gonna treat my body as something casual, I was like, I've been there. I've done that. I'm over it. That's cool. If that's what you are, great. Have at it. Go look for it somewhere else. And also, if you pay me the money, I'll introduce you to some of these spaces that do those things.
So, to those who are listening, what say a few? What did we miss? We got very granular here about like particular things that we see, and we're like, nope, nope. So let us know what your automatic swipe lefts are, the color of the flags, how many flags you've seen. Engage. I would like to read some comments. And until next time.
Good
And
night.
I think